You know how they say, I can't believe it's been that long? Well, the more time passes, the stronger that feeling becomes. And it makes you think. Hi there, it's me, Bogdan. You may know me as CloudyBogdan, and today I... What the hell? I am celebrating 10 years of my channel, so in this video you will learn a lot about me. So welcome to my life. Hope you'll enjoy. I was born in 1998 on winter solstice in Crimea, Ukraine. I was given the name Bogdan, Bog meaning God and Dan given by God basically. Ironically, I'm not religious. As a kid, I watched USSR cartoons my parents watched, such as The Snow Queen, Well, Just You Wait, The Adventures of Buratino or Pinocchio, live action, as well as the animated version, to name a few. I also watched newer ones, such as Do Know on the Moon, English translation ruins it. You might know that Russia likes to take a few inspirations from other media. In case you're wondering how some cartoons or ideas may remind you of your own culture. All those cartoons were on VHS tapes, by the way. I also watched Western cartoons I bought or rented on discs, such as Brother Bear and Finding Nemo. As an honorable mention, I wanna suggest you watch a French animation called The Triplets of Belleville. It's unique. There are several cartoons I loved, made by a Russian animation studio Melnitsa, aka Windmill, like Little Longnose, Nutcracker and the Mouse King, and Alyosha Popovich and Tugarin Zmei. My number one childhood TV channel was Jetix. Number two was Nickelodeon. After Jetix sadly dissolved and finally Discovery Channel, I watched Mythbusters, Monsters Inside Me, Dirty and Man vs. Wild. On Jetix I watched shows like Avatar The Last Airbender, oh, that's beautiful. Team Galaxy, loved it. H2O Just Add Water, adored it to the max. Robot Monkeys, pretty good, watched it briefly. Yin Yang Yo, enjoyed it briefly. Magic Bullet, infomercial. The food just looked so good. Maybe one day I'll get my hands on Magic Bullet myself. What's with Andy? Loved it. Iggy Arbuckle? Enjoyed it. Tattenstein? Loved it. Lazy Town? Watched it for a bit. Power Rangers Mystic Force? Enjoyed it. Totally Spies? Loved it. Thanks for the weird fetishes, by the way. Witch? Bloody loved it. The Tofus? Briefly enjoyed it. Shuriken School? Enjoyed it briefly. Open Star Racers? Vague memory, but never actually watched it. Probably will one day. Puka. Fun, briefly watched it. Kid vs. Cat, enjoyed it, slightly more than others. Jimmy Two Shoes, enjoyed it less than others. Captain Flamingo, briefly enjoyed it. Inspector Gadget, enjoyed it, briefly. Wayside, enjoyed it. Planet Sketch, funny, enjoyed it briefly. Oh, and Naruto. That was my first exposure to anime, and I loved it, of course. I decided to finish the anime in 2017. In Canada, I watched the Treehouse channel. Futurama was my only favorite. In Ukraine, I played PC games on Windows 97 and Vista, Rex and the Pirate Treasure, My Body and How Does It Work, Four Elements, and Shrek 2. Fun backstory, on my birthday I was gifted the Shrek 2 game. I thought it was a movie, and I waited 10 minutes for Shrek to do anything until I pressed the button and Shrek moved. So I'm like, oh, it's a game, okay then. Yeah, I played with toys like cars, a top, a swing, a sword, other miscellaneous stuff like kitchen pots, crayons, ropes to simulate contraptions or traps thanks to Shrek 2 game. Apparently there's 2 versions of Shrek 2 games. Maybe one is American, the other one is European, I'm not sure. Strings to simulate lasers, thanks to Over the Hedge movie. I thought lasers were really fun. 4 clay elemental stones, thanks to the Fifth Element movie. Long big rulers to simulate bridges from furniture to furniture. I even made up my own language by creating a decoder page with a bunch of made up symbols and a Cyrillic letter beside each one. Then I would write a secret message for somebody to decode. I loved Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, so I got myself a black Oompa Loompa costume, Nanny McPhee. I had a stick that I found. Clearly I enjoyed fiction and magic especially. The worst thing I've done as a kid was dropping a rock on a car accidentally. I used a bucket on a rope to ascend and descend items to my friends from my apartment floor, and I dropped a rock for fun. Once I did, the car alarm sounded, and so did one in my head because I was panicking. I was practically shitting myself. I think I got snitched on because I got in trouble. At least it was a car and not somebody's head. As a kid, you might not think stuff through. I'm a late bloomer in everything. Anyways, I was exposed to some wonderful music from Chicago musical, Boney M Band, Adriano Celentano, his 2000s collection, Alborada del Inca, the Peruvian band meaning Dawn of Inca, which in fact came to my birth city in 2006 or something. So I bought their disc and I love it. I didn't regret it. All of their music is so epic and really tribal. My other recommendation would be Hai Long. It's wonderful. And finally, Lord of the Dance. Their music is deeply rooted with me as well. There were 2 reasons I created my YouTube channel. 1. Sandy inspired me and I wanted attention and a following too. 2. My parents filmed me as a kid during events or moments in my life, which I'm grateful for, unlike those parents who expose their kids online. It's an extension of my memory as well, and it's wonderful. So, why CloudyBogdan? Clouds feel melancholy, noir, relating to my isolation, loneliness, guilt, nostalgia, and me having foul farts. Now they are quite disappointing if I do say so myself. That ass can't fart no longer. Plus Crimean occupation, my home is in the hands of that fucker. Now I'm a cynical but optimistic, fartless pothead. Let's discuss my recording setup history. The first and worst setup was a family member holding my iPad to record me playing, which happened once, may I add. I was building a hotel in Minecraft. Next was an iPad recording the laptop screen on the table. After that was Fraps, then Bandicam, paid, OBS on PC, and finally Streamlabs. My priorities, opinions and dreams changed over time. Before I wanted fame and financial gain, but now YouTube is oversaturated with crap, content farms, drama that feast on the negativity which is everywhere and I am sick of it. Quit chucking turds at each other like a bunch of monkeys. Yell wolf too many times and I won't give a shit. Only proves humans evolved from apes. YouTube became a chore to earn a living on because of competition, so now I post what I want when I want. Many lose themselves in this rabbit hole now, and it ain't pretty. Sandy fell into this very YouTube trap, and has lost himself, it seems, and his wife, but he has money. Thanks for the memories, though. It's Gen Alpha's turn to be entertained. I used to watch YouTube play Minecraft, Wii, and mobile games. Now it's anime, YouTube, and adult anime, and a tad bit of gaming. Everyone's more secluded, which is not good. I gotta travel and enjoy life. My best memory online was watching Sandy playing on Mineplex and Mushroom Co. Minecraft servers when they were in their prime, before Sandy moved on and 2 servers practically died. Oh, and we can't forget the awesome Minecraft song parodies. Good times. And now for the channel montage. As a kid, I was more careless, selfish, volatile than others, I think. I'm a guy who would stand by his beliefs and speak out if I have a reason to. Now it seems like people don't listen to facts and will follow others blindly without critical thinking. So I'm less likely to speak out because at the end of the day it becomes pointless. I socialized less than most. My only friend in kindergarten was a girl. Sure, I played with others occasionally, but she was my world, as well as doing activities. My favorite being swimming pool in the kindergarten. Who else can say that they have a swimming pool in their kindergarten? Got no clue how widespread that is. Could be the USSR shtick. There was, of course, also a bully archetype, a guy. I have this feeling that he's no longer with us. Knowing him, he probably converted to Russia, got drafted to fight against his own country, and believes in Z propaganda. I kicked him in the balls once in kindergarten. We both cried. Why me? Consequences. That one time at kindergarten, during lunch, I spat into an Italian kid's porridge when I was sick to make him sick, which was a success. I don't know why I did it. I still remember the bullies, the girls, and a teacher's full names. The teacher even gifted me a magician kit because she knew I was lonely, it seems, as she could relate. Wonder how she is doing now. I remember a lot, especially when it's a core memory. Though I wish I could forget some stuff. But no! As a side note, I also had about 5 friends living close to me, so I wasn't all that lonely. I'm not sure my old friends and classmates got brainwashed by Putin's regime and what they think of me and Ukraine, their home, by the way. I can only wonder. I moved to Canada before 2014, before the Crimean occupation, so lucky me, Kashira. In 2019, the very same girl found me online, and coincidentally, I was in Ukraine at the time. I too tried remembering her last name and find her online, but to no avail. It was a miracle that she found me, and we got to see each other after so many years. I didn't bring up the occupation just to be safe, and I didn't know if everything was alright over here. The annexation and war has ruined all sorts of relationships and families in Russia and Ukraine because younger generation knows better than the elderly that watch state news. They trust state news more than their own family. What a world. Anyways, the two of us watched a movie, I paid for the tickets, and visited our kindergarten by gazing through the fence, reminiscing. That was the last time we saw each other. I've seen her achievements and I'm happy for her. I think she's doing well. Back to the past. I had a green Nokia 3310 on which I loved playing Space Impact in kindergarten and at home. My kindergarten also had these matinees, during which we performed for holidays or events. It was magical every time, especially during Christmas and New Year's. Aside from lunch, we would sometimes eat oxygen cocktail, aka oxygenated apple or cherry juice. In Russian, we call it oxygen foam, literally. It supposedly enriches your brain with oxygen. I moved to Canada in 2011 for better education and opportunities. I would fly home annually till 2020. Took me time to adapt. I had a language barrier, though I studied a bit of English in Ukraine. Fun fact, my Canadian relative came to Ukraine several times and he heard the English teacher teach English and he said that it wasn't accurate. I quietly glowed to myself that I speak English better than her now, my own teacher, you know. I went to middle school here, which did school trips such as swimming, skiing, camping, laser tag, and water park. Great time. High school had an excursion to a farm for pumpkin picking, an air band, and a prom. College had nothing since it's college. However, the only good thing I got out of it was achieving my dream of going to Japan thanks to the exchange program. Speaking of cultures, my first exposure to Canada was in 2006 when my grandma gifted me a Nintendo DS with Nintendo Dogs and New Super Mario Bros. It was revolutionary. I don't know if I would still be here speaking to you if my grandma hadn't moved to Canada and I didn't move there because of her. I am here because of her. She might have actually saved my life. Fun side story. In 2019, she found my lost Nintendo Dogs game in her suitcase since I lost it years ago, so that was a pleasant blast from the past. My first days in Canada were a lot to get used to. I felt out of place, my English was almost non-existent, but I got my first console, Wii. That was the best gift I ever gotten. I also played Little Big Planet 2 on my uncle's PlayStation several times and I loved it. My favorite Wii games that I owned were Super Mario Galaxy 2, Donkey Kong Country Returns, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Rayman Origins, and Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. The fucking carrot! Minecraft would eventually join the top ranks. On my iPad, I played Plants vs. Zombies 1 and 2, Where's My Water, Angry Birds, Minecraft Pocket Edition, and Temple Run. Mainly. Oh, and of course Bad Piggies. Okay, now for the least favorite chapter of my video. My problems. It's important to note that I was a bit of a bum, a rebel. I used to dislike people with disabilities, fat people, religion, and gays. Humanity, am I right? Let me make it clear, those are in the past. In 2013, I took a liking to more thicker girls and stopped disliking fat people in general. In 2017, I stopped disliking disabled people.
I was gaining more humility.
In 2019, I got over the gays. And this year, I stopped disliking religion as hard times bring humanity to desperation, making them believe in craziest stories, even if with contradictions, fallacies, plot holes. They do have some worthy lessons though, and can help people hope and believe, so that's the only good side. Being in the global conflict made me understand why they exist. My English grew over the years while Russian stayed in 5th grade or something, but I speak it at home, so that's good. English flows like a waterfall, Russian like a mud river. Less vocabulary. At this point, I've lived in Canada longer than Ukraine. Because I was selfish, I would always do what I wanted, not what my first Canadian friends wanted. Wii and Minecraft were new to me, so they pulled me in really hard. I was faulty, but I'm proud of myself for growing. I still hate bogus ideologies, sure, you feel me? I like the world I live in to make sense. I am now a dash of edginess, loneliness, horny, with a tiny hint of depression. Till 2023, I had this perfectionist complex, meaning if I upset somebody unintentionally, I'd try to fix it. Some brain-dead people might call it harassment, but I would hate to leave someone with a bad impression, you know? I would try to get in touch with them even if I get blocked. It's the right thing to fix shit, right? But I guess culture shock, right? No, that's a no-no, whatever, fuck off. Some just aren't worth my time, I suppose. I had fingers pointed at me saying I'm weird. Insert prefix here, phobic, because of a joke or a fact. Over the years, I became reserved. In other news, I'm a Canadian citizen now, so I don't need to drive to an embassy to get a visa. Thank fuck. I can travel freely. The most embarrassing topic I'm about to discuss is puberty. But nothing inappropriate, okay? The hormones did me dirty. We all had those moments, I am sure. Puberty during middle school changed me. I said inappropriate things to girls, and that's pretty much it. But it's whatever. I'm sure they've forgiven me by now. It's been 10 years after all. I wasn't actually looking for a relationship. It was more of a game to me. I never pursued love for real. In high school, I sprayed liquid ass in a math teacher's classroom on his water bottle as a prank. He threw away his water bottle after that, as I was told. The stank was strong, and windows had to be opened, and students slowly shifted away from me. I went to the principal's office and I had to clean up the trash of the school grounds. Fun fact, I never dated anybody, for real. I kissed 3 girls in my whole life. One was in kindergarten. I don't know why we did it, but it just happened. And no, it wasn't my only friend, by the way. Which would have been better, preferably, I suppose. I don't know. I remember it was shocking and a bit nauseating, but my whole body felt warm. Second was in 2008 or so, during a wedding event. We hid while the guests gathered in awe. It was embarrassing. You know, I don't like doing anything romantic in public because I'm so self-conscious, you know? I accepted it as part of my personality. The last time I kissed a girl was in 2016. In high school, just a few times. My happiness started to slowly decline after 2013, accelerating later on. Crimean occupation, loss of 3 elderly family members, society becoming shittier, internet providing a platform for morons, free speech censorship, the good being replaced by the average, dull and stupid, loss of critical thinking, YouTube going downhill with its adpocalypse, stricter guidelines and terrible choices, internet losing individuality, YouTube adding features no one asked for, such as demonetization while removing the dislike button, YouTube fighting ad blockers instead of fixing issues with spam bots, copyright and fair use misuse. With a cherry on top of YouTube banning creators who said something controversial or made a joke. Oh please. Look, some say if you don't have anything nice to say to somebody, don't say it. Okay, but then we got an egotistical, selfish asshole who doesn't listen to criticism when they need it. I don't see a benefit in that. Flaws must be pointed out and fixed, if possible. Then there is brands who are now making terrible design choices, worse quality management lifestyle. McDonald's before had a colorful, family-friendly, vibrant aesthetic with a play place. Now it's a grey, depressing, shitty and corporate place. Pringles man had a passionate twinkle in his eyes. Now is a soulless husk. Basically me before and after. Oversimplified logos suck. We either make problems for ourselves or pretend there is a problem. Life is too good, eh? Sometimes take a break from the internet and distress. People are more united but also divided due to the internet. Canada's mass immigration is crippling economy and the housing market. Shit's expensive. Trudeau screwing Canada is evident. But legalizing snoop grass was a great choice. It brought me tranquility. My perfect future would be finding a good stable job with a positive environment, exploring the world in moderation, and of course revisiting Japan. Taking a Japanese course kinda held me back on a leash, but I don't regret it. Ukraine returning to its proper pre-2014 border size, maybe find my other half one day. I've been running from my sins and shame for 10 years. Now, instead of running from the negative, I learn from it and focus on the positive. The most relatable song I know must be the Epoch by Savlonik, the video by The Living Tombstone. I'm recording this in November, so I don't know how well things will turn out for me and the world, my people too. If Putin had nothing to hide and wasn't a dictator, he wouldn't be in power for all these years, like an overused diaper filled to the brim with smoldering shit, and he won't ban social media, ruin the lives of his citizens, take the lives of my people just to become China or North Korea 2.0. That man's a plague. When it comes to politics, both sides have pros and cons. That's why I am apolitical and I don't choose unless there's a clear win. Now I have more friends and it's been getting better in my little world. I've been happier to an extent. I just hope Trump won't drive my country into the ground and there won't be a sequel to World War. That's all. What the hell? I am celebrating 10 years of my channel.